Dude, Cecil, when did you become a zombie?
I'm not a zombie. I'm the pacing and execution of this movie.
True.
Hey everyone, welcome to the horror show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Jaime and Fuego.
And Fuego. And we are here to review
Here we are.
a movie.
Indeed it is. The new Jim Jarmusch. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is called The Dead Don't Die. And you've probably seen commercials for it because they're advertising the hell out of it for some reason.
Yes, the best zombie cast ever disassembled. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, it's got
Whatever.
Bill Murray, it's got Chloe Sevigny, it's got...
I like her.
I know you do. It's got Kylo Ren himself.
Yeah, he's the best part of this, in my opinion. Adam Driver.
Thank you.
We've got
I'm
some Rosie
spacing on it.
Perez. We have some Iggy Pop.
Briefly,
we have some
Rosie
Tom
Perez.
Waits.
Briefly,
we have
Iggy
briefly
Pop.
Selma Gomez. We have briefly
Selena Gomez.
Selma Gomez. I don't fucking know. Sorry.
Selena.
Tilda Swinton, who I like in just about everything. But it's funny because Jarmusch has like some of his go-tos in this movie. Most notably, Bill Murray, who was in Broken Flowers. Tilda, who was in Only Lovers Left Alive. I love most of this guy's movies. I love both of those that I just mentioned. I really like Dead Man with Johnny Depp from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I like Ghost Dog with Forrest Whitaker, I want to say. He's made a lot of really good movies. Not this one.
No.
This is bad.
No, this movie's really bad, you guys. Like, really bad. It is...
Frustratingly bad.
Frustratingly bad. It is slow, and when things happen, they happen in sort of an offhanded, almost half on-screen way.
Deliberately, though.
Some of the time, yeah. Like, obviously deliberately so. Like, he takes the time to build up these moments as he's jumping around, like, showing what the different characters he's introduced are doing. He builds up to moments, and then he pays them off in such an offhanded way in a part of another person's kind of story where they're just looking through the window and you're seeing what's happening offhand. Like, it's so weird. It's so weirdly presented, and it's so slow. And even the characters' deliveries were all exceedingly slow.
Which you can tell was how he directed them to deliver their lines.
He
I mean,
had to
everything is so deadpan, so just like on the cuff and super serious, and it's done for comedic effect, but it just, I mean, hate to give credit to, Collider and stuff, but, it was just screened at the Overlook Film Festival the other day, and Perry from Collider was just like, it thinks it's a lot funnier than it actually is, and that's really with the way that it's presented and put together. There's no other way, really, of putting it, because while Adam Driver, I felt like, had the funniest delivery with his deadpan super seriousness, that I mean, there's so much talent just poorly utilized in this. Even when I think about guys we didn't mention yet, Steve Buscemi, Danny Glover, there's so many great actors in this, and they have nothing to do. And you even said yourself, you're like, Bill Murray feels handcuffed in this role. He most definitely does, and it's just nerve-wracking when you see all this talent on screen and they're being directed to act in a certain way. Everything is scripted in a certain fashion that just doesn't add up and doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
At least for entertainment effect.
There's even a point early on where there's a meta moment that I was like, oh, okay, if this movie's going to be like this is going to be great.
Right,
I really did.
It was like a few
and then it didn't happen again, anywhere near until towards the end of the movie, basically. And it was, and so because of that, that joke felt completely out of place because it wasn't a runner. It wasn't a running gag. It was something that just happened at the beginning and at the end. So it felt out of place both times. And the payoff at the end comes literally completely out of nowhere with no setup or anything like that.
This is gonna end bad.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. So neither of us enjoyed this movie. I mean, I didn't like it at all. It was just so unentertaining. I mean, is really the word for it. Yeah. Like we literally left upset, like angry. We were like, I felt like this movie just wasted my time.
Yeah, and it was a pretty full theater though, because this was almost 10 days early screening, and even before most of the press screenings, and so it was just like Okay, and yet fairly full theater and just a couple chuckles here and there throughout the entire movie.
And a snore two seats over from me a couple of times.
And I feel like I even laughed at some of the stupid deadpan stuff more than anybody else in the theater, just because there was a delivery or two from Adam Driver that really worked for me. But it didn't really with anybody else. It's because I'm so used to seeing him play this snivelly, super serious whateverness, and he was off kilter for me. I haven't seen Girls. I haven't seen some of the other things.
Me either.
And he was actually in Jarmusch's most recent film. And yet, Jim's partner is like Ann Driver. And I was trying to figure out as I searched through the IMDb's if like this is son of his significant other. And I could not clarify if that is the case or not. But oh well. In any event, so yeah, overall impressions. We obviously talked about that story. Really, it's very deliberately by the bones, I would say, in the fact that they never completely confirm, but I do feel like they hinted at the fact that this takes place in Pennsylvania, which is where, we had the Night of the Living Dead, and where we had...
I don't think it really matters where it took place, because they mentioned that it's taking place everywhere, pretty much. So
well, yeah, the actual epidemic that takes place. So yeah, lo and behold, there is like a slowing of the Earth's like gravitational spin, kind of. Was that how they described it? I mean,
wasn't it? Yeah, well, I can't remember how they specifically explained it, but basically daytime is lasting longer.
Well, and
then nighttime is lasting longer.
Yeah, and that's because the Earth's rotation was slowing, okay. And so yeah, daytime and nighttime weren't hitting properly. It was also affecting all kinds of electronic devices, everything from people's phones to their watches to
but not
so
cars
on and so forth. Yeah.
Conveniently not cars.
Yeah, well, and most cars have computers in them now. If you're driving around something like badass and old, like what Selena Gomez has, I mean, yeah, that's fine. But
yeah, we're in this what feels like a kind of podunk town in Midwestern USA, and the podunk officers, the veteran played by Bill Murray, and the two sort of younger officers, Kylo and Chloe. They are sort of the podunk sheriffs, and when all this starts to go down, and no one reacts like anyone would actually react during this in the entire movie.
They're all just kind of like,
yeah, oh,
which is like how they were directed to act.
As deadpan as it was in the trailer, I think it's zombies, and Bill Murray's like, what? That right there. There's only one scene in the entire movie where Bill Murray raises his energy level
beyond
above that.
Two.
Yeah, beyond that moment in the trailer. Like, that is his second most energetic moment in the entire movie. Just him going, what?
And
that's his second most energetic moment in the entire movie. And so that's the level of comedy we're dealing with. It's everyone talking in a monotone and just the only one that's kind of reacting differently is Chloe. Yeah, because she's just breaking down all the time. And so it's not even interesting. Like she's
almost playing to the stereotype of the woman.
The woman can't handle
the situation, which is in the Me Too and the Time's Up movement. It's pretty shitty, Jim. I gotta say,
it felt super out of place too nowadays. It really did.
Yeah,
like literally how that part of the plot ended up is just weird, man. It's just weird. So. Anyway, the rest of it, though, I mean, the acting, I didn't like the acting because everyone was directed to be this deadpan way, and
nobody was.
It's so uninteresting. It makes everything uninteresting when there is no variance in delivery. It makes for this. It makes for this. It makes up for a plateau for the entire movie, and that's what it is. It's a flatline film.
Yeah, no characters stood out because they were all directed to talk in this monotone.
No pun intended, because it's a zombie movie.
Unemotional fashion. Yeah, exactly. Although I must say that, besides Driver with some of his delivery, the kid who ran the corner gas store who was really into horror movies, he was okay to me.
He was okay, but only because I know him to be super talented from other things that he's done.
I was trying to think of what else
he's been a creep in a number.
Tons of different things.
He was the creepy brother, right, of in a movie where someone is in the house and the parents are there, and he's the creepy brother that's like, no, you can't. He ends up being like, no, you can't leave. Oh, what movie was it? Oh, it was Get Out, wasn't he?
Was it?
Wasn't he the brother of the white girl in that?
I can't remember.
Yeah, he was the brother of the white girl in Get Out. Yeah.
He's wearing a wig in this, and he has the glasses on, and so I did not recognize him.
It was him.
But the voice and the face, I was like, where the hell do I know this dude from? Like,
Yeah.
I just
it was
could not
absolutely
pinpoint
him.
Put my
And
finger on it.
additionally, he also played, I believe, the kid from the Last Exorcism that comes up to the car when they're... Oh, all right. He plays the kid that comes up to the car when they're pulling up to the house for the first time. And they're like, can you direct us to the house? He's like, yeah, okay, what you want to do is you want to turn around and go back the way you came. And like he plays that kid. So, and he ends up throwing shit at the car as they go back. So, yeah, so this kid, he's good, but he's completely underutilized.
Yeah.
And practically everyone's resolution happens in a way that you can't even really see it happening.
Yeah, and then we have
it's so weird.
And honestly, the underutilized subplot of the kids in the juvie place, which was so pointless and boring, and why the hell was that even part of it? Those characters were so just not developed, and why are they here? And just, God, there was so much about this that felt disjointed, that felt half-baked, that felt just like...
Some of these people were clearly paid for a day's work.
Yeah.
And
Very
just so they could... Rosie Perez, Selena Gomez, absolutely. Maybe 2 days max, but definitely not more than that.
I was going to say probably the same, with... I mean, most of the big names in this, Iggy Pop, obviously.
Rosie Perez, I don't even think went to set. I'm pretty sure Rosie Perez was on green screen the entire time.
She's absolutely. In LA. She did not go to Pennsylvania or wherever the hell they filmed this. And
I'm gonna email you my pot, okay? I'm gonna email you.
Yeah. White man can't jump, yo.
That's the only Rosie Perez I know.
Get her on Jeopardy, dude.
That's the only Rosie Perez impression I can do is that one.
Oh Lord, yeah, but this was bad, man. This was bad. It was it was just a mess at the end of it, especially with how they're trying so hard to put it into this limited theatrical run and get people interested. It
felt super forced. I mean, knowing the ad campaign and now having watched the movie, that is a good editor. Because they made the movie actually look like it might be entertaining. Like, that's polishing a turd to a fine level. I tell you what.
Which it's not. But since we've kind of talked about acting and story and so on, I do have to say.
Oh, you want to talk about music?
Well, no, not really. I mean,
we'll
eventually get to that. There is one song, and that is where the whole. And then we can just knock this out quickly.
Yeah.
There is one song which is the title song. The Dead Don't Die. And it's by, I don't know if it's by a real artist or just constructed for this particular...
country guy.
I liked it. I really, really liked the song. But the fact that it was beaten like a red-headed dead horse throughout the entirety of the proceedings.
To death.
And that everybody somehow in the movie knows the song. If Selena Gomez knows this song, something's up. That this is very obviously just, of some strange construct and whatnot.
Maybe there's even meaning behind it that we didn't get. But if so, that's not our fault.
If it went over our heads, sorry, we did pay our most diligent.
To rely on that joke so many times, if most of your audience isn't going to get it, that's not a good idea.
And also the other joke that they beat like a red-headed dead horse, it was one wild animal. Or multiple.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I didn't mind that. They only did that a few times.
They did it like 4 or 5 times, dude. Including in the one scene.
I don't know why that one didn't bother me. That one didn't bother me though. I actually kind of liked that callback joke.
Okay, because they really called.
But it was just as stupid. Yes, I agree. It's not a good one. But I for some reason that kind of got a little giggle out of me.
Because it was like 3 different people on the scene.
And
then Chloe Savini shows up, and then
it's Rosie Perez that got me.
Yeah, where she's
that's
like,
the one, yeah.
It was one wild animal. Or maybe more. Multiple.
Yeah,
there was some stuff that was dumb enough that
that was like one of the 2 things that kind of got me to chuckle. Everything else, I was fighting my eyelids the entire movie. It felt like
Fuego style, because I'm the one who falls asleep
normally, but this was rough, dude. Like it was so slow, and there was literally. I'm telling you guys. The best way to describe it is if you imagine an EKG from TV, right? That's like a heart monitor that's like, ba-doot, 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 like that. This one was, it was literally just like, ooh, with an occasional, ooh, ooh. Like that's basically what it was. It was so rough. And again, I'm not trying to make a pun because it's a zombie movie, which we need to talk about the effects. But it's such a poor zombie movie.
Actually, I thought the zombie effects and the chewing wasn't bad. I didn't think it was that bad.
There was a little bit of chewing, but there's not that much. And they kind of tried to do the thing that one Ethan Hawke vampire movie. Which one was that? Where Daybreakers?
Ethan Hawke vampire. Oh yeah. The one with Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Good,
That's Ethan Hawke.
Good. Yeah. Good.
I say
movie,
that
actually.
because
that
did something kind of interesting where when they would kill or hack off parts of vampires, they would go up in flames, or they would dust and burst out in blood.
You're talking about. That was one visual bit I liked.
Yeah,
I liked the black smoke.
That's the thing. That's the weird thing. It's like
appendage slice.
Yeah, because they're so
that was cool.
the zombies that are risen are people that have been dead for a while. So like they literally, when they get hacked up, like big poofs of dust
it's almost
pop
like,
out and stuff like that.
Chalky decay as opposed to like slimy, grimy.
So that was kind of
interesting. They're going to be all like brittle and.
But even that, they went even way overhanded with that, like that, and I'm excusing it being like, it's just some bone dust, but it's way more than that. Clearly,
yeah, truly. Although I don't think the set design was that bad. The small town they used to film this was cool looking, and there's one effect I can't mention without spoiling. It's in the very end. It's Tilda Swinton's character and what.
No, don't spoil that.
I can't spoil that.
No, don't spoil that.
Yeah, but although I thought that was cool, where she was going around slicing all the heads off. She was
cool, but it's nothing we haven't seen from Michonne in The Walking Dead a million times.
That's exactly what they stole the cue from.
Yeah, I mean, and that it's not that interesting, and that part specifically, like there was 2 times where I was like, what the F movie? Like, seriously? Like, that's the second meta moment was a, what the F movie? Really? You waited this long and this is what you're doing? Yeah. And then that moment was the other, what the F movie? That's out of nowhere.
And especially where
it's not
Bill
even
Murray,
funny.
And yeah, at that particular point, it's like Adam Driver and Bill Murray have a little back and forth, and you're just like,
yeah,
we're finally coming back to it.
We're stretching this. We're stretching this, boys.
I don't know.
So yeah, it's not good, guys.
Yeah,
it's not good.
It was very disappointing, especially with all the marketing hype behind it, the cast, the fact that I like the director so much and most of what he has done. He also helped out with the music with it as well. Coffee and Cigarettes, Dead Man, Only Lovers Left Alive is my favorite of his movies. Broken Flowers is also very good, where Bill Murray's going
If he's
around.
talented, then we'll call this his My Soul to Keep that Wes Craven did.
Yes, yeah.
Because this is as bad as
My Soul to Keep or The Ward for John Carpenter.
Hang on. My Soul to Keep. No, My Soul to Take.
My Soul to Take, yes, because
My Soul to
Keep, that's the one we really like.
Yeah, goddamn it.
We like My
Soul to Keep is great. My Soul to Take is balls.
It's one of the best movies we've seen this year, horror-wise.
God damn it. I knew I was going to do that at some point.
Yeah, My Soul to Take for Craven.
From Wes Craven was garbage.
And then The Ward from Carpenter.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't think The Ward is Carpenter's worst movie. No.
Interesting. No. Debatable.
No, there's no. Escape from L.A.
No, that's fun, man.
Okay, there's a debate to be had.
So.
You might be right. I need to revisit this. All right.
Oh, The Ward and with Amber Heard.
That's just a straight debate we should do. We should just do a straight... Okay, well, I didn't think it was that bad. I like that movie. Anyway,
we are ready to stop. Can you tell we're ready to stop talking?
The zombie effects, though. The zombie effects. Yeah. So we did talk briefly about the gore, the chewy effects. That was okay when we got it, but the zombie effects
looked that bad.
They weren't bad, but they weren't great. Like they looked like made up people.
They were
instead of actual decaying people like on The Walking Dead.
Ironically enough, I felt
Walking Dead has ruined zombies in a lot of ways.
I guess because Greg Nicotero has done such a terrific job.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I
You've seen the different stages of the zombies over the number of years, so now you actually know what they're supposed to look like, versus a long-term one,
Yeah, I felt like the kid zombies from the little section of the graveyard that they discussed in that one particular scene. I thought the kid zombies looked better.
Oh, then wasn't that so on the nose when they're discussing that part?
You're just like, is this gonna happen?
I wonder if this is gonna come back. Yeah. Jeez. Just rough. I don't know. Look, this is my first Jim Jarmusch movie. And
you haven't seen any of the ones?
No, I have not seen any of the others. And this being my first one, I'm not inclined to watch any of the others, to be honest with you, because this was god awful.
Yeah, Broken Flowers, Dead Man, Coffee and Cigarettes, and Only Lovers Left Alive with Tilda Swinton and with the guy who plays Loki, with Tom Hiddleston, and then with the late great Anton Yelchin. That's my favorite of his movies, actually, where it takes place in Detroit and it's about
don't talk about it. We don't need to take the time to talk about it. We reviewed it on the channel. Just say that.
Yeah,
we reviewed it on the channel. Look
Check
it up.
it
Don't
out.
listen to him talk about it now because we're finishing this
it out.
review. Because this review is over.